So, something that I definitely want to alert people to is have a strategy for what you're planning to do in an acquisition phase when it comes time to getting a hold of the property and then getting, your long-term plan. There's a lot of folks out there right now have a lot of full opportunities, whether it be notes, whether it be hard money, whether it be, some of these subject twos. But if you want to keep it, you better be thinking about that in advance. Today is the 9th of May. Got another Friday on us. And the reason I'm bringing this one up, because it's a big push that I'm working on right now. There's a lot of guys out there flipping homes, doing a great job, making a lot of money. But then they find a home that, man, I probably want to hang on to this, but they haven't put themselves in a position to figure out, how do I hang on to it? Can I get long-term financing? If you're one that's going out there and doing these flips or wholesaling or notes or any of that kind of stuff, you decide that you want to hang on to something, you may not be in a position to hang on to it. You may try and grab onto it, grab some hard money and lock that property up. But now what? Now you're at 12%, you're paying points and you're trying to get something done. I ran into a scenario very recently where a person had set themselves up in that respect, bought property, expanded their holdings, but didn't have their plan. And because the plan was not in place, we're trying to back into the plan, try to unravel all that stuff. Sometimes you can't un-F a situation real easily. It takes time. And because it took time, the frustration welled up and exploded, right? So we don't want that. We want to help people get through this. So think about it well in advance of your acquisitions. If you think I'm going to be a wholesaler, be a wholesaler. But if you want to be a wholesaler and take advantage of opportunity and cherry pick a little bit, talk to us in advance, well in advance. Let's get your entities set up, multiple entities, not just one. Because again, you're going to put yourself in just as bad a spot with the one sometimes. And then don't take our hard money unless you're going to for sure get rid of that property, or you're going to put yourself in a spot where you know you can get out of it. Period. Let's just put that out there because I want to be sure you guys are well set up in advance. If you have not gone down that path before you start acquiring, you could put yourself in a really, really bad spot. And I've seen some pretty bad spots that people have done to themselves. This week, just looking at what has happened in the market, we had trade balance. That's really interesting. Not a big market mover, but it was pretty, we saw a big difference, a lot more import than export. Why is that? The worry on the tariff. Everybody freaked out, start buying everything they can, import everything they possibly can. We had, see here, the one thing, jobless claims, they dropped a little bit. The initials, they weren't as high as they were before. Now they're not a huge drop, but they were still a drop. And continuing claims, they're dropping. So work is starting to happen. Labor is starting to happen a bit. In fact, labor costs went up quite a bit from 4.3% to 5.7%. That's pretty big. Then, of course, the Fed leaving the rate untouched. We thought that would be the case. There's no reason for them to lower it or raise it at this point. Let's see how things shake out. But what was the one thing I was talking about this last week that I thought was really, really interesting? Did a little prediction here on the first. I predicted what the market was going to do. We hit this ceiling. I predicted the next day it would go down. The following day it go down till it got to this floor that I had drawn out, and it would bounce off of it. What happened? Exactly as we pretty much predicted. Came right off of it. Did exactly that. So, but where do we land right now? That doesn't show us exactly where we are today, because that was just as of the 6th. Because the last time I recorded on Tuesday, that's what that day was. We want to see how that day ended, and exactly as predicted. But where are we at now? Look where we are. Came up on the 6th, 7th continued to trade upward, traded negative on the 8th. That had to do with jobless claims, those kind of things, showing there's a little bit more strength in the economy. Bam, pulled right back down into the channel. We're at the top of that channel. We're working that channel down. So I think we'll continue to ride that thing, continue to be in that. Now, one of the interesting things about that thing that I just shared with you about being prepared, something I discovered in that transaction we're working on, there was a manufactured home that was going to be the subject property. We didn't know that at first. The loan itself was the application was done online as a single family. Didn't know it was manufactured until we did some research on it. Well, we can't do a cash out manufactured loan. If it was me looking at it, I would immediately say, hey, we just can't do it at all. Because I haven't been able to do manufactured housing for investors at all, period. But guess what? My team was like, let's take a look at this. They found out we can do purchase loans for real estate investors on a DSCR product, 30-year fixed. It's a 65% LTV max. And we can do refinances, rate and term refis. We can't do cash out. That's freaking awesome. So crap scenario. Definitely not something we wanted to have happen. None of that, but it's not something we could have controlled. There was a lot of just missed data going back and forth till we come to discovery. But I learned something awesome. So those of you out there who have purchased into that, I know there's a lot that was going on in Texas. People who purchased manufactured housing because it is phenomenal prices, great rents, great cash flow, but you had to pay cash. Now, you have the ability to finance those. Now, can we get your cash back out of it? Not so easy. You may have to get some hard money going on there. We have to talk about that in some other way. Let's plan on a conversation. If you're in that spot, reach out to me and we'll see what we can structure. Don't know how to structure that to get your cash back, but if you look to try and expand your holdings in that world, we got you. But call me anyway. Let's talk about it. We'll see if we can get you planned out. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.